A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a significant development for global economics, U.S. President Donald Trump expressed optimism about the ongoing trade discussions with China, which took place in Geneva, Switzerland on May 10, 2025. Despite no major breakthroughs announced after over 10 hours of negotiations, Trump described the meetings as a step towards a total reset of trade relations between the two superpowers. The U.S. delegation, led by Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer, met with Chinese Vice Premier He Lifeng in an effort to de-escalate the escalating tariff tensions that have been impacting economies worldwide. The backdrop of these discussions is the staggering tariffs imposed by both nations. In a bid to pressure China into compliance regarding trade practices and the flow of synthetic opioids like fentanyl into the U.S., Trump raised tariffs to a staggering 145% on Chinese imports. In retaliation, China has imposed a 125% levy on American goods. This tit-for-tat exchange has resulted in a near boycott of each other's products, disrupting a trade relationship that surpassed $660 billion last year. Trump took to his Truth Social platform to convey his upbeat assessment of the talks, stating, "A very good meeting today with China and Switzerland. Many things discussed, much agreed to. A total reset negotiated in a friendly but constructive manner." However, specifics of the discussions remain scarce, with both sides keeping details under wraps, highlighting the sensitive nature of the negotiations. As the talks continue into May 11th, there is cautious optimism that both nations might agree to scale back their tariffs, a move that would be welcomed by global financial markets and businesses that rely heavily on U.S.-China trade. Economic analysts note that even a small reduction in tariffs could send a positive signal to the markets, though skepticism remains about the likelihood of substantial outcomes from the Geneva meetings. Sun Yun, director of the China program at the Stimson Center, expressed doubts about the potential for significant results, emphasizing the need for tangible agreements rather than mere words. The best scenario is for the two sides to agree to de-escalate on the tariffs at the same time, she remarked, indicating that even minor concessions could help restore some stability to the tumultuous trade relationship. The trade discussions are particularly crucial as they come on the heels of a history of unresolved issues dating back to Trump's first term. Allegations of unfair trade practices by China, including forced technology transfers and subsidies for domestic firms, have been persistent points of contention. The Phase 1 agreement reached in January 2020 aimed to address some of these issues but fell short of delivering on promises, especially as the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted global commerce. As the negotiations progress, the stakes remain high, not just for the U.S. and China, but for the global economy as a whole. Trump's aggressive tariff strategies have made trade a central issue of his administration, and any failure to reach a resolution could have far-reaching consequences. The U.S. trade deficit with China, which hit $263 billion last year, is also a pressing concern for the administration as it seeks to balance trade relations. In Switzerland, the atmosphere surrounding the talks is tense yet hopeful. Bessent and Greer have also engaged with Swiss President Karen Keller-Sutter, reflecting the broader implications of U.S.-China relations on other economies. The Swiss government has expressed concern over the impact of heightened trade tensions on its industries, particularly those reliant on exports to the U.S. The government has warned that countermeasures against U.S. tariffs could lead to increased costs for Swiss consumers and businesses. As the world watches closely, the outcome of these discussions could reshape the future of international trade. Both nations are under pressure to find common ground and avoid further escalation of tariffs that could stifle economic recovery efforts in the wake of the pandemic. With the future of U.S.-China relations hanging in the balance, the coming days will be pivotal in determining the trajectory of global trade dynamics. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.